Hello, this is Ender, and welcome to my VRcade, where today I am providing you with my initial impressions of the Pimax Crystal. I'm proud to be showing you this device that was sent to me by Pimax, free of charge, with the only expectation to be providing this review. I created this channel to talk about VR because I'm passionate about it, and as much as possible, I use mixed reality or a green screen to put myself into the game as much as I can because I want to share VR. I want people to experience it the best way you can on a flat screen. Of course, the absolutely best way to experience VR is you have to try it. And one thing I'm working on is with Sebastian at MRTV's Try My Tech program is bringing viewers and VR enthusiasts into my home so you can try it for yourself and then not only get my opinion, but the opinions of others. So more details on Try My Tech later, but hopefully I'll be able to share my Crystal and my other gear with all of you. But back to the Crystal. This is the box that the Pimax Crystal came in, and I intended to do a full unboxing review. However, I didn't film it so well trying to do it in mixed reality. But what I do want to mention is the box is of really nice high quality, really nice solid foam. Again, I've already unboxed it. Really nice presentation when you get this. And something else I want to mention that some other YouTubers have commented on is an improvement they've made to this shipping. This little piece of foam I noticed was attached right around this front lip here, which some reviewers, when they received it, said was broken. Now, I am reviewing this device much later than a lot of the, dare I say it, beta testers or early adopters have. And the benefit of my review is I'm going to bring you the perspective of someone who's seen a lot of improvements that Pimax has made, such as this piece of foam, to protect that from breakage. And to my knowledge, everyone who had that clip break received a replacement headset. So I appreciate that they've made some changes, and I also appreciate the frustrations others have experienced. I've only had it for about 48 hours and played about 3 hours so far, which I will definitely be increasing my playtime with because there's a lot to talk about that I am very excited about. Moving on to the looks of the Pimax. So some people I kind of call it a cyberpunk look. I like that, so works for me. This is a very wide headset. You can see on my face here. Yeah, very wide. And right when I put it on, I did notice it's quite hefty. This is the heaviest headset I've worn by far. I'm definitely an index user who is used to a lot of weight, but it actually is very well balanced, and I felt less pressure on my cheekbones than I did with the index, despite how heavy it is. Now, another thing I've heard commented on is the kind of inertia and maybe it wobbling left or right. So far, I've only tried this on my Cat VR treadmill, where I'm not really moving horizontally a lot. So I haven't noticed that so far, and I purchased some other modifications that were discovered by Omniwhatever, whom I consider to be the Pimax expert on YouTube. And he's taught me a lot about VR technology, so make sure you check out his channel. Because it is so heavy, heavier than the Index, heavier than the Quest 2 or anything else I've tried, it may not be the right fit for you if you have neck issues. We've got one button over here and two buttons on this side. It has a power button, this little square, which my Reverb G2 did not. And that was always concerning because with the Reverb G2, you really have to unplug it from its power source or its breakout box, so to speak. It's not really a breakout box, to make sure the screen doesn't burn out. I've heard a lot of horror stories about that. So having a true on-off button is nice. This, if I remember correctly, is your volume rocker, which I really like, again, like unlike the Reverb G2 or the Index. And then you have an IPD adjustment, and it's automatic. It's powered, and it can automatically adjust just off of reading your eyes. So this is an eye track device. More on that topic later. This device also is a hybrid standalone / PCVR device. So you can hopefully see there is a slider. You just slide left or right for PCVR versus all-in-one. I've only briefly tried the all-in-one mode, I just tried Open Brush. It worked pretty seamlessly. I'll talk about visual impressions in a little bit. Don't worry. Flip it over to PCVR and did connect for my PC pretty seamlessly, even though I have an AMD Radeon 7900 XTX, which a lot of people will say is terrible and has terrible drivers. One drawback of the Radeon cards, and again, I'm going to refer you to Omniwhatever because he understands eye tracking and the corresponding dynamic foveated rendering much better than me, is there are potentially a lot of compatibility issues with iTrack's dynamic foveated rendering. But otherwise, that card's been running seamlessly and with really high performance from what I can tell so far. Rather than trying to render the full resolution of this device across the entire screen where you're not looking, just like PlayStation VR 2, it tracks your pupil movement and only renders where you're looking. I haven't tried that yet, but I will. Furthermore, I will try with my 3080 NVIDIA card, which has less performance, obviously, but would be compatible with dynamic foveated rendering. Moving on here, you can see these are the DMAS off-ear headphones. I love off-ear headphones on my Reverb G2 and Index. I can't stand the various aftermarket ones. I've tried to improve my Quest 2. So I'm very glad these are on here. They are about, I think, $100 upgrade. They sound very, very close to the Index and G2 headphones. I think they're a little quieter, but the quality, the clarity is on par. Just maybe the volume's a little lower, maybe the bass. I need to spend more time with it. Looking at the rear here, when you pull these two tabs, it can be a little tricky, but I'm getting better at it. And there is your battery. It comes with 2 batteries. And you do have to use the batteries in PCVR mode, wired connected to your computer. You can hot swap the batteries. You just have to swap the battery within 1 minute. Also, with this being a hybrid or also standalone headset, it does have inside-out tracking. So you can see 4 cameras like you would see on a Pico or a Quest headset. And that allows us to have very Quest 2-like controllers. I believe they use infrared technology, just like the Quest controllers in the Ring. So you don't need Lighthouse base stations, and these are included. You can, of course, use Lighthouse base stations with the optional Lighthouse faceplate that would snap on here for, I think it's $200, and then you would need the corresponding Lighthouse setup. As far as these controllers go, the fit and feel seems solid. I'd say they're a little thinner in the palm area. Then you got a USB-C port down here because there is an internal battery. You can't swap batteries. So let's talk about the most talked about part of this headset, the visuals. They are amazing. I cannot hype them up enough. They don't let me down in just about any way. I can't see the screen door when I'm playing Half-Life Alyx, and when I looked at Circuit Breaker, I could see warning labels with my already, I thought was all I ever needed for resolution, Reverb G2 at 2160 by 2160 per eye, or 4K. But this, it's gonna be tough going back to something else. You can see here we have these nice, wide, clear, non-Fresnel lenses. There's no rings on them, creating all kinds of glare and lack of clarity. They are gorgeous. They are the 35 pixels per degree ones. I'm assuming I have the glass ones. I'll try to take them off later and weigh them. The clarity is astounding. Edge to edge to me seems phenomenal. I've never been that sensitive to edge clarity, I will say. I know with the G2, almost like a bifocal effect, where I can see that dividing line, and that bugged me. But aside from that, down low, I didn't really notice a lack of edge to edge clarity in the G2. Everyone notices things differently. This seems stunning across the board as far as clarity. No glare. The brightness is fantastic. I believe they list 200 nits. And I think one of the best things in this headset is the QLED screen. OLED screens give you dynamic contrast or blacks. I did experience that years ago when I still had a Quest 1. It's impressive, especially in games like Elite Dangerous, where you have a space dark environment. And it's also great when you're looking into dark areas and horror games and dark environment. This is somewhere in the middle. The reason why you get different contrast is local dimming zones. Instead of a backlight across the entire screen, say with an LED screen, you have smaller little tiny lights that can light up only portions of the screen and keep other areas dark. That's my layman's understanding of that. You might have, if I remember correctly, twice the local dimming zones or even greater with an OLED screen than you do here. However, the benefit of this QLED screen technology with the local dimming zones it does have are really impressive. I went into Kayak Mirage at night, like Sebastian at MRTV suggested. I could, at night, barely make out the outline of the hull of my kayak at night, as it should be, and see a cave off in the distance, an ice cave in the Antarctic map, that was glowing in different degrees of lighting reflections. And it just seemed really amazing, especially when combined with the high quality audio and hearing some water trickling down, melting off the ice. So an amazing experience, as opposed to all the lighting being the same and still seeing the orange hull of my kayak, as opposed to just a faint outline, like you would in a dark room with limited lighting. I didn't think I really needed a headset this expensive with the DMAS headphones, $1,700. Now I feel like I do. So I'll warn you here, ignorance is bliss. If you try this headset, you might really want it.
One aspect of the Crystal I did not consider until after reviewing my footage and filming this video is that I had a microphone issue. I don't know if it's graphics card related or not, but a popping sound that's pretty prevalent through all my footage. I sent those clips to Pimax, and they have said that there will be an update out this Friday that will probably fix my issue. Once I'm able to try it out, I will include that before and after footage in a future review, along with further critical analysis of controller tracking and other features I might not have considered for this initial review.
Is it worth $1,700? That's a longer discussion and something I need to think about more. I did try the Quest Pro at its $1,000 price point. I have a review of that I'll link to as well. I didn't think it was worth $1,000, and it does have local dimming. It does have non-Fresnel lenses. It has pancake lenses versus these are aspheric. I'm not too certain I understand the differences or remember precisely what the differences are, but they're both super clear lenses. The Quest Pro, I wasn't happy with for a lot of reasons, but initially I am stunned, I'm blown away, I'm impressed.
One final consideration that just got announced is the Crystal trade-in program, where if you want to trade in your Crystal for a credit towards the 12K, perhaps for those of you who are interested in the 12K, such as myself, this might also be worthy of consideration.
So I believe that's everything I wanted to cover with the headset itself. I am going to be conducting, I think, periodic reviews or one full review when I finished formulating my full opinion, including other accessories. And for those glasses users out there, such as myself, I ordered both the Hans VR and the VR Rock lens inserts, which I believe are the only two ones currently on the market for the Crystal. And I'll try to give you my impression of these, the pros and cons, as well as all the other accessories that I'll be trying to modify this device for the greatest comfort and performance, because that's something I enjoy doing as well and hope you value also. If you valued this review and would like to see more content from this channel, please click that like button and subscribe, and comment down below with any questions you have about the Pimax Crystal, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching.